From CJ DeYoung III, I want a quarterback in the 4th round. Thank you. Look, he's kidding. That's the laughing emoji. I want a lot of things in the 4th round, actually. You could talk me into a running back. I could get a corner. I could get a big fat to help stop the run. I could get depth at all of my spots I need depth at. I wish I had a 4th round pick that didn't burn and borderline potentially waste on Jonathan Mingo. I hope Mingo ends up being good, but that one stings. CJ's always coming through with these super chats. It is a feature, or super thanks, I should say. It's a feature on YouTube, just like a super chat. Lets you donate outside of live videos. Click that thanks icon. Send in whatever you want to send in. If it's FU Tom, that's fine. Just don't commit isms. It's my only request. It's a very low bar that sometimes doesn't get cleared. Is what it is, I guess. We appreciate your support, so any super thanks, just like a super chat, is a shout-out on the show. $5 from Corey Blanton. I think he's repping the Romo jersey there, which I love. I think I have a similar one. Could you break down a scenario that the Cowboys draft a QB in the 1st or 2nd round? It'd be an ugly surprise, but Dak is often injured. Thanks, Tom. You're the best. Thanks. I don't think they're going to even consider it in round 1. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's extremely unlikely. I don't buy it at all. Even if Shedur's there, I don't see it happening. The way it could happen in round 2, I guess, is if Shedur falls there. But if Shedur falls to 44, that is red flag city for me. Because I've got a 2nd round grade on Shedur, which means those guys normally go in round 1 because of just the quarterback boost. Even if I'm higher on him or whatnot. I have a very tough time seeing this team take a quarterback in round 1 or round 2 because they just paid Dak. Now, if they had 2 years on Dak's contract left, I think that'd be a very different conversation right now. But I just, with the really lack of talent in this class, I've got an early mid-second on Cam Ward, a mid-ish second on Shedeur Sanders, and then I don't know if I will end up having another quarterback inside my top 100. I am not very high on Jackson Dart. I've got Jalen Milroe as an early 4, and I've got Dart as a kind of late 3rd, early 4. He'll be right around the top 100 range for me. I just don't think it's a good class. I don't. So what? I think you draft someone in the 5th round. I got a bunch of guys. There's a long list of guys. McCord, Gabriel, 5th, 6th round, all makes sense. What round do you think the Cowboys will draft a QB? It's been comment on today's show. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Chris Broussard's burner. I refuse to look at Hurts as elite. I get it. I've always kind of thought he's good. To an extent, I kind of feel like both Hurts and Dak get a lot of unnecessary disrespect. Not even from like Eagles fans and Cowboys fans and vice versa. I feel like kind of like NFL media. Even Purdy a little bit too. And oftentimes it comes down to where they were drafted. Where you got drafted sometimes ends up giving you a lot more leeway than it should. Like, why are we still giving Daniel Jones chances? He's not good. He has literally never been good at any point. Might have won a playoff game. Doesn't mean he was good. And I think a lot of times, how do we define elite? Like, for me, elite is like, obviously Mahomes. It's like Allen, Lamar. It's Burrow. It's that tier of guys. And that's kind of like it. Like, I'm not going to force up a bunch of other QBs into that category. And that leaves, like, everybody else, a kind of big tier of, like, those fringiest top 10 guys. Someone, I guess, has to be number 5, but isn't really a top 5 guy. That's where I put those guys in the end. Tony, why do restructures just to roll over money? Are there benefits? I mean, the benefits are that you roll over the money, I guess. I kind of wish the Cowboys would do this a little bit more frequently. They don't have to go as extreme, but there is a very valid school of thought that if you're going to pay a player a base salary for a season on a multi-year non-rookie contract deal, you should just restructure them every single season. Because worst case is you just don't spend the money and you roll it over. That's kind of what teams like the Eagles have done, what teams like the Browns have done. I think I saw Tevin Jenkins got like a 1-year, $3 million deal with 4 void years on it. Because they're just going to roll it over. Like, why not? It's fine. The Cowboys don't always do that, which is why it's kind of frustrating when they have the restructures and then don't spend the money. My guess, honestly, I think they were fully prepared to spend the extra $6 million on like a Jordan Lewis. And he got more than they thought, so they didn't pursue that path in the end. JetWolf90. The Cowboys haven't submitted an offer to Micah. If this is the case, pre-draft, could you see another team ready to trade for him? First, I'll come back to this. As a reminder, we are doing the Micah decision pool. Go to chatsports.com/Micah to see the entries. Venmo me $5 at What Going Down to get in on the 50-50 split the pot. Closest person to get the right date for you signs or is traded gets in on that one. Or gets the split the pot winnings. Anyway, on Micah. Everyone involved knows what the money's going to be. Like, maybe there hasn't been a formal submission of offer to Micah's agent. It also kind of becomes like, I'll borrow from college coaching. A college coach has never accepted a contract offer until after it was actually offered. Like, no one ever turns down offers, even though they get turned down all the time because they know what it's going to be. There just was never the formal submission of the offer type of deal, right? Like, there's always someone agreed to the deal and then it got offered type of deal. Like, that's kind of what is going on here. Everyone involved knows what it's going to cost. And knowing the Cowboys, it'll drag out into July or August because that's how they always do things. And they always try to go around the agent, and then the agent gets mad, and then the agent has 5 clients with you, and all 4 of them leave in one off season, which literally just happened, by the way. But I think that everyone involved wants him to stay, even the agent in this case, and it'll happen. It's just going to be dragged out like always. So what is the % chance you think the Cowboys end up trading away Micah Parsons? That was a long answer, but hopefully I answered it decently. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Rajanik, Tom, how do you grade the Cowboys offseason? See? The draft should be good, and it should vault that grade up. But, the head coaching hire process was bad. I think the coaching staff hires were all pretty solid. Free agency was better than previous years. Doesn't mean good. So by Cowboy standards, it's almost like a B or a B plus, but it's still kind of like barely league average at best, which is disappointing when you're trying to be competitive. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. It's available in more than 30 states, including California, Georgia, and this place called Texas. You may have heard of it. They've got, obviously, some college basketball, PrizePicks slates, baseball underway, and football. Obviously, the American kind. If you want to go to the European one, more power to you, I guess. But American football ones are available. Jared Goff, I'm going all less thans here because I have concerns around all 3 guys and their specific stats here. Jared Goff, less than passing yards. Might not be as good on offense this year. Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice will cut into his target share, I promise you. Less than receiving yards. And I don't know if the Commanders want to run as much with Jaden Daniels. Less than rushing yards on that front. Download the PrizePicks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Toxic Tom looks like me when I lost the bet about Kyler Murray going number 1 overall to dye all my hair red. That's what it looks like right there. / that's just Andy Dalton. I know you watch a lot of draft analysis and tape. Who is the one prospect you thought was can't miss and was a miss? Ooh, I like that one. Let me pull up my boards here. I'll tell you, I ended up being lower on him because I do factor in stuff like data and combine times and testing and everything. I had Solomon Thomas 7 on my board as I look back at the 2017 draft class, by the way. I really thought T. Staber was going to be awesome. Pre-combine, he was my number 1 corner over this guy named Marshawn Lattimore, who ended up being number 1 for me. I thought he was going to be so good, and then he just didn't. The speed was so bad, I'm like, I have to drop him significantly. Same class, by the way. I really liked O.J. Howard. I thought he was going to be a incredibly good tight end. That one is, positional value stuff. That one hurt. I also loved Malik Hooker that year, which I think I would have been right on if he'd been able to stay healthy. But all my boards are public from over the years, so you can go back and look. There's plenty of misses on there. That's just how it goes. From Fred, how about a trade for one of the Colts receivers, Pittman or Pierce maybe? I don't think they're going to trade Pittman, but you could call on Pierce. Near the end of his contract, they do have A.D. Mitchell, kind of plays a similar-ish role, brings the speed this Cowboys team does not have. I don't know if he's available. That's Alec Pierce, by the way, but I think he fits as an outside vertical threat that you don't have. You know what would have been nice? Using that 4th or 5th round and go trade it for Pierce instead of Mingo. Like that, if you could pull that off, that one would have been kind of cool. So name a player, any team out there, who you want to go trade for. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Everett Bonds, Tom, what are your thoughts on Deuce Vaughn? I'd love to see more of him. Do you think he could be an RB2 or a 3? The issue with the 3 side is they don't play him on special teams. And in most cases, your RB3 has to contribute on special teams. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out for you. So I think I think he can be a 2, but he's so small. He almost has to be head and shoulders above everyone else on the field, talent-wise, to make up for the fact that he's head and shoulders below everyone else in his stature. But I think for this team, with the investment made, you have to invest in other spots heavily, other players heavily, and that kind of leaves Deuce as the odd man out. If you guys want more Cowboys YouTube videos, you come to the right spot. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. DK, if Graham drops to 9 or 10, would you consider moving up? I would have, if you hadn't signed Osa, I would have probably said, you actually have to do this now. Like, you have to go make that happen. It's kind of funny. It's actually not funny. It's painfully unfunny. 9 or 10, probably more so 10, you could have just flipped your 4th for that pick and moved up. It's about what it says on the trade value chart in the end. I would say you probably have to get to 9. I think the Bears would take him at 10. And the Niners would probably take him at 11, so you're trying to jump both those teams. At that point, look at the trade chart, you're kind of like, it's not quite, it's like you trade your 3rd, maybe you get back a 4. I have concerns there. I need my picks, but he'd be a great player for me, so I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think because I have Osa, I would almost try to stand and see what ends up being available to me at 12. But I think the talent level for Mason Graham out of Michigan would make me consider it absolutely. It's a good question there.